Okay, Sheridan. I have been on just fail after fail of book reads on my own time right now. But this one stood out to me above all the others.
Oh, no.
And let me tell you, I just want to kick this off with, it was book 2 in a series. So book 1 was like kind of corny, but all in all, I was like, you know what? Lighthearted. I'd give it like a 3-star situation.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? There's a brother. It's the next book. Why not? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I want to preface this by saying this book is rated 4.4 stars by 2,749 people.
That's a lot of people to give 4.4 stars.
So that's, you would think, okay rating, right?
It's like a pretty good rating, actually.
Let me tell you, I disagree with 2,749 people.
You're like, they were wrong.
I have not read a 1-star book in a while. I don't know if ever. It was one of those books that I should have DNF'd, but it got so cringy. I just wanted to see it out.
No.
And I want to dive into cringy books here in a second. Okay?
Yes.
I need you to, because there's some counting involved.
Okay.
I really want to dig into the data of how bad this book was. Okay. But first, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Sheridan.
And together we're Sippin on Spice podcast.
And once a week, Jordan and I get together and we talk about a book that we've recently read, or we just talk about different bookish content. And we do treat these like a girls' night, so you might want to grab a beverage because sometimes our thoughts do get a little unhinged.
Yes, and today we're going to talk about cringy books, our favorite reads of 2024, and just lots of other little tidbits that we get into. So I'm going to keep you going down this cringy book path.
I'm ready.
Okay?
I'm excited.
Okay. So I want to preface this by saying the book started off, and I would say like the first 30-ish%, you were like, okay, little corny, but I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Again, every now and then the bubblegum, I think is how you explain it. A bubblegum-ish book. It's a Christmas book, right? So a bubblegum-ish contemporary.
Yeah.
You can be a little bit more lenient on, right? I'm in a fluffy place. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to read this, right? And it was good at the beginning. It's the traditional like single dad romance that I like. You know what I mean?
Your faves.
Yeah, he's grumpy sunshine-esque, right? It's good stuff. It's textbook Jordan likable.
Okay.
So we kick it off good. Okay?
Yeah.
Then about 30 to 40% in, the language gets a little cringy, which again, and it's mainly in the dialogue that I found. And it's things that I find, I don't know if you find this in books sometimes, and it's usually when I try to read like a more indie author, which again, I love indie authors, but sometimes you read one that's just maybe not as edited. And it was saying things like they were trying to decide to go between like a bar and a club. And he kept saying things like, I can represent. And so like, nobody talks like that. You know what I mean? So it really takes you out of the moment where you're like, nobody speaks like that. Right.
But
But whatever. I'm still powering through the cringy convo. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I've accepted this. Like I'm still in it for the high level story. Okay. Then they move into time, Sheridan. And this is where things really took a turn. Okay.
Oh no, they get real cringy.
There was a scene where they tee up this joke where he refers to his member as the stallion.
Stop.
Yes. The way they set it up in the first joke, you're like, okay, we're joking, right? Little funny, little weird, little funny, fine. No, Sheridan. It no longer is a joke. It becomes a reference.
Oh, no.
And I'm talking every other page. Sheridan, every other page. I finally went back and counted in Kindle because I was so bothered. Ask me how many times he referred to his member as Stallion. Him or another character, okay? All in reference to him and his performance.
How many times?
25.
So that's a lot of times. Oh my God.
25 times this author and editor thought referring to your as Stallion would woo the readers.
They were like, that's the way to go.
In a non-ironic way. Like at first it starts out as a joke and you're like, okay, we're joking. No. It goes on to be like, okay, you know what? Let's
give us some lines.
Would you like an excerpt?
I would. This is wild. Please hit us with this excerpt. I wonder if the author has some fantasies.
So they did like he had an old fling, if you will, like an old friends with benefits.
Okay.
Not a picture anymore, right? A past one, but of course she's trying to start stuff. She's trying to like throw herself at him. Literally over text, and is like, no, like he's like literally saying like, no, thank you. And she's like, no, you want this, blah, blah, blah. And she responds to him, but I need the stallion.
No. What is happening?
But I need the stallion. Hang on, let me get you another excerpt because like I said, it was page after page after page. You ready?
The sound, yes.
Another line that same character says, because again, she's still throwing herself at him, is she says to the female main character to imply so that she knows that she was hooking up with him before. Good, and let him know that I'm ready to ride that stallion again.
No, ew. The old friends with benefits doing all this drama and stuff. And then 2, I'm ready to ride that stallion again.
I'm not done. Another excerpt.
You're
this is only 3 of 25. This is only 3 of I want to also say that these 3 instances were within 10 pages of each other. Okay. 10 pages. Okay. This one is from the female main character's point of view. Her inner thoughts. Okay. Inner thoughts. She's having a sad moment. She goes, my gut twists every time it repeats in my head, and it's clear I'm nothing to him. Alexander doesn't see me as anything but someone to play with his stallion.
That is wild. That is cringy.
It's cringy.
That is cringy. That is like, I just.
Why?
Yes, and then visuals. I just have a lot of visuals.
It's like I could see one thing as an author, like being so inundated with your story, like writing something and being like, okay, and not realizing how much you're using it or something.
Sure.
But this had to go through an editor too, and the editor was like, love the stallion.
Keep it. You know what this book needs? More stallion.
Like they would be in the middle of an intimate moment and he would like tell her to ride the stallion and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, imagine your husband saying that to you. I would be like, I've changed my mind completely.
I'm over this now. And I'd be like, I need to exit stage right. Did he like neigh or whinny or anything?
No.
Okay.
See, it wasn't horsey. It was almost like, I'm a stallion, babe. It's the stallion. You know what I mean? Everything about it fell flat. Then there was the whole third act breakup. Like I said, it just got bad. What he did in the third act breakup made me furious. And then his solution to this whole thing. You ready for this? Because I'm now so angry about this book. His solution to this awful thing he said and did was to propose to her.
Like that's it. Like no.
Yeah, that's how it resolved.
He proposed to you. So he
in
did
front of his family.
And so she can't even really say no. Cause like,
no, she wanted to. She says yes.
But she wanted to say no.
No, she wanted to say yes.
She wanted to say yes. Oh my goodness.
That was the resolution.
So
marriage.
We have, oh wow. That's healthy. That's fantastic. Just what a good setup.
Some of the most unhealthy communication I've ever read in my life.
Wow.
Resolved via proposal.
Because all they can talk about is the stallion. Like how can they communicate about anything else at this point? Like that is wild. So we have friends with benefits coming back to start drama. Consistent stallion talk. If someone said to me in the heat of the moment,
right,
I want you to ride the stallion,
I would leave.
If it happened one time, I may laugh in a fun way. And then you're like, cool, okay, ha 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 ha. Sure. If it's brought up again, I'd be like, you have a complex with your penne pasta thinking it's a stallion. And I'm not a part of this complex.
He had it tattooed on him.
On the penne pasta?
I think on his stomach.
Oh, so you could read it if you
It came up during a Twister moment.
Oh, okay. So you're that obsessed. You get it tattooed for all to see during schmexy time. And then you ask them about it. And then your ex, friends with benefits, literally says, I need that stallion.
Yeah. And she, the female lead, continues to refer to it as that.
Oh,
like it's established ground.
This is wild to me.
Uncomfy.
That is uncomfy. That's cringy and that's uncomfy. And then he did something horrible and then he makes it up by proposing.
I literally had to go through the reviews after because I thought about it. I was so angry. I told my husband about it. He was watching TV. I came in and I said, hang on.
We need to discuss this.
Let me tell you about this book I just read. And he was like, he laughed and then he was like, okay. And I was like, no, I'm still not done. Like I need somebody else to talk to about it. So I went through the reviews, the 1 and 2 star reviews, which there were several.
So there were several.
Even though it's a weighted 4.4, which I still, again, have no idea how. all of the 1 and 2 star reviews kept saying how cringe the stallion theme was. So I was like, okay. I was like, who are these other people who are rating this 5 stars for? Because I mean, it has to get weighted down, right, to that 4.4.
Yeah.
I don't know if we read the same book for it.
That is pretty shocking. Again, one time, heated moment, funny.
Yeah.
Second time, interesting pattern. Third time, too far. Too far. Too much.
So anyways, this book made me furious.
That takes the cake for a pretty wild book to read. That definitely takes the cake. That's pretty funny.
I think it's safe to say I'm in a slump.
Now I'm just wondering, is there anyone out there like in real life that's just, you know, every time they call it something specific like that, and
like
then like
name?
that's like, yeah, like I've not encountered this in the wild. I've not, but it
makes me
probably
think
exists.
Do you remember in Charlie's Angels, the first one, the Chad?
Yes.
It kind of makes me think of the Chad.
That movie is so good. What if like that is based off of someone the author knows in real life?
Oh my God.
And like, you know what I mean?
What if it's based off her own life?
Exactly. This is just the wheels are turning. Which
Can
no
you
judgment.
imagine then reading?
No.
Everybody thinks it's cringe.
No.
Well, not everybody. Me and like 5 other people.
Yes. That's actually a really small sample size compared to like the 2,000 people
2,249
who actually were like super on board with it.
Oh God.
That is funny. That is really funny. That made my day.
It had to be. I don't understand. I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. Well, you know, we wish you the best.
Anyways, that being said, would you like to talk about our year in review, our 2024 Sippies?
Sippies. Oh my God, I love that. That's like the at the office. What are they called? The Dundies. These are the Sippies. Okay, I love this. Okay, would you like to go first, and then we'll alternate?
Okay, so let's kick this off by saying we've got a couple categories.
Yes.
We're going to give our favorite each to fantasy, historical, monster, and contemporary. Do you want to start with fantasy?
Yeah, you go first, and then I'll go.
My personal pick was Quicksilver. It was a 6-star read. It was phenomenal. I can't think of anything that topped it for me.
1,000% same. Quicksilver. I'm actually like when I need to fall asleep in a comforting way, I reread parts of Quicksilver to this day. Like it's so good.
I'm actually ready for a reread. I was thinking about that actually. I was like, ooh, I should sit down and just reread it.
1,000%. Carrion Swift is amazing. Like he's one of the best characters ever, as is Kingfisher, of course.
Yes. And honestly, all the characters are so good.
Oh, I agree. Quick side note, your friend that just listened to the audiobook, because we have not listened to the super spicy audiobook, what did they think?
So they only listen to audiobooks.
Okay.
I think this is the spiciest book they've listened to, but they loved it.
Ooh, okay.
I asked how they felt in comparison to Fourth Wing because you and I rated it higher. And she said that she didn't like, she saw them as separate kind of styles. So she didn't really like pit them against each other, but loved it. So I would say equally probably.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't get to talk about the audio, but I'm genuinely thinking of listening to the audio because you know it's hot.
Oh my God. His voice, I'm sure, is just like fantastic. Like,
well, and
amazing.
I've heard clips of Carrion's voice and he sounds hot.
I have not heard clips of his voice, so I kind of feel like I need to also listen to this audiobook. That's amazing.
They clipped the scene where he's talking about Dania.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sweating.
Ooh, it's good. So needless to say, my top fantasy book from this year, The Sippy, is going to Quicksilver as well for fantasy.
I love
Amazing. So good.
Okay. What do you have for your next category? What do you want to do?
Should we do contemporary? I do feel like this is the hardest category to choose.
Yeah, this was hard.
The most entries as well. We probably read more contemporary overall in 2024.
Yeah, I agree.
But if I have to pick just one, you might guess it. As soon as I say it, you might be like, oh, okay. Genuinely, just unexpectedly blew me away. A super indie author, Whiskey Business by Elliot Fletcher. Like, just fantastic. I did not expect to love this book as much as I did. It just truly, I thought, had one of the most unique female main characters and then also unique male main characters. And I just absolutely loved their story. I just thought it was beautiful, sweet, just wonderfully done. And I actually think it had strong Jethro and Sienna vibes from The Bearded Brothers by Penny Reed. So if you ever wanted to venture,
maybe I'll read that to get me out of the slump, because I have it downloaded. I've been meaning to get to it. I just haven't done it.
I absolutely loved it, and I just thought it was unique and very sweet. So that's my sippy for contemporary. What about you?
Mine is The Devil Wears Black by L.J. Shen. It was so good. It was between this and like an Elsie Silver book, because I just actually, and you know what else was up there? It was Truly Madly Deeply. It was going to be L.J. Shen.
Truly Madly Deeply is so good too. The Devil Wears Black is, I totally agree with you. That was my runner-up. It's such a great book.
It's so good. And upon reread, still so good. So it was
yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I loved it. Okay, Monster. I think we're going to say the same thing. Let's do it on the count of 3. Ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3. Ice Planet
Barbarians. I had figured we might say the same one because it's so good. But which of the series for you?
Oh, well, I don't.
Do you have a faves?
I don't know that I do, because I like them all differently. Okay. No, I'm not going to pick one. I like it as a unit, so I decided to pick it as a unit.
Okay. I like that, and I respect that. It's amazing. Ice Planet Barbarians is probably like, I think if you're describing it to someone to recommend, it's a big hear me out, but it is fantastic.
Yes.
And you will eat it up. Like, you just go through them so quickly.
Yeah, I literally love them, like, so much.
So good. I do have a favorite. Mine is Josie and Hassan.
Is he the one who takes her?
No.
Which one was Hassan? You need to remind me.
He's the one that had a mate before, and this is not a spoiler because it's literally like the first 5 pages. In fact, it might even be talked about in other books, like immediately when they're introducing
it's his second chance at a mate?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know how wild it is for you to sit here and tell me that is your favorite after book, where you told me you did not believe in a second love? And told me Leo couldn't love again, and this man has a second mate, and you're fine with that?
Because he never loved her. It was like this, like, okay, we don't want to spoil Ice Planet Barbarians if you haven't read it, but it's kind of like fated mates in the sense that they have a parasite in them, basically, that but like a good parasite that makes them fall in love with the other aliens. It's a happy parasite. Hear me out is right. And so the parasites make them fall in love. So he never loved his first mate. He just had a parasite.
Nothing you say in this speech will change my mind that you're a hypocrite.
You know what? I am breaking my own rules because I do love them.
Yeah, but I think you need to have a long, hard look in the mirror after this and ask yourself what you really stand for.
There's been a lot happening in my life lately that I probably should. But Hassan and Josie are my favorite.
Okay. Historical.
Okay, you go first on this one.
Mine is going to be Mine Till Midnight by Lisa Kleypas. It was a hard pick. I would say if I could pick a whole series, I'd pick the Hathaways hands down. It was just so good. But Mine Till Midnight is Cam's story, and it is so good.
Yes, Cam is like just one of the greatest male main characters ever. Like, it's just so good. And their book is so romantic. Are you ready for my favorite historical book that I reread this year?
Okay.
It's a reread.
Oh my God.
You ready?
Are you going to give me what I want? Is it going to be Leo?
It is Leo. It is Leo. Yes. It's Married by Morning.
I am champion.
You are. It is Leo and Catherine Marks' book. It is Married by Morning by Lisa Kleypas. That book, again.
Also in the Hathaway series.
When I first read the series, I was all about Kevin Wynn. And then Jordan and I had a deep conversation about it. I reread the books. Argument. Call it what you want. Discussion, conversation, argument. Call it what you want. And I had a come to book moment. And I love Leo. And I'm obsessed. And I'm just really obsessed with, like, he doesn't pine for decades before or years before, like Kev does for Win, which is typically what I love, but he does pine and he does chase and he never wavers once he's committed. But it's a gorgeous book. It is gorgeous. It's fantastic.
It was hard between Cam and him. It was definitely hard.
It's like picking between two excellent male main characters. Excellent.
God, I'm so happy.
I know. Do you feel vindicated? Like, did I just
I
make
honestly
your life
do. Like, I do.
good?
Like, you have now contradicted yourself twice, back to back.
Who am I? Who am I? Soon I'm going to be reading, like, who knows?
Soon you're going to be reading Reformed Playboy and hockey romances and telling me you love them.
It'd be like, oh, by the way, have you read this hockey romance? I'm obsessed with it. So then it's your turn to get into Grumpy Sunshine.
I know. Well, maybe I'll read Whiskey Business and things will change.
You will. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. The male main character never wavers, which...
This is why I've had a hard time reading it, because I feel like every time we talk about it, you talk about how much you like it, but you do not sell me on me liking it, and it's giving me anxiety, which is why it's just sitting in my Kindle.
Actually, if I can use this, I don't want to spoil it. The reason I am hesitant is the male main character has a lot of anxiety. So he's not going to be this self-assured, reformed playboy because he struggles with anxiety. It's not this like...
confident.
Exactly, or suave, but he is obsessed with her. He never waves her. He comes into her life and he solves problems. He takes care of her. He's protective in multiple instances. And it's quite spicy. Quite spicy.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know if you dedicate to the book slump or not.
I recommend this to you, and I'm like, this is my favorite contemporary read of 2024, and you're like, wow, this is a one star.
And I come on here next time and give you a stallion speech.
Maybe.
I mean, as long as he's not referring to it as a stallion, it's already a step up from where I'm at.
Not once.
Oh my God, Sheridan. I went on to read another book. I started out being kind of interested. Again, the dialogue was corny. He doesn't swear at all. Okay. And like in moments where you're like...
you could swear here. You
know what I mean? Where it made sense for the female character, but it didn't make sense for the male character just based on their, like, they're supposed to be opposite personalities. And it felt like they all got this like watered down personality where everything's like fluffy. And like she refers to the peen as a gobbler.
What? Excuse me?
Yes. And then at one point in time, he repeats it. And then it was like insta love. And I made it like 100 pages and I was like, and I cannot do this.
I can't do a gobbler. My goodness. Gobbler. That, I'd rather them call it a stallion. I'm sorry. I'd rather have that.
Let us know in the comments if you're a gobbler or if you're a stallion.
Yeah, because I mean, when I hear gobbler, I think of like gobble gobble, or I think of like...
Yeah. Well, I mean, she says it looks like one because what's the word I'm looking for?
Like...
I don't even know what the word is for that. The neck? Of a turkey?
Of a turkey, I guess. Oh, wow. We are getting descriptive. So it's like, okay. I'm not going to make that hand gesture for you two. But I have a visual idea of what this gobbler looks like. It makes me think of the things that in Pac-Man.
Oh, the Namis?
Yeah, that's what it makes me think of.
Nom 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 nom.
Nom 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 nom. Doesn't make me think of anything you'd want near your lady parts, but I digress.
Okay. Okay. What is the fastest you've ever read a book or a series, and what was it?
So for me, I think it was Ice Planet Barbarians. Now, there's like 21 or 22 books in the series at this point, right? Like at least 21. I did not read all 21 at once, but I got it to like at least 12 in a matter of a few days. But those are a couple hundred pages. Yeah. You know, you just get
churners.
Exactly. So a couple days, Ice Planet Barbarians for me. What about you?
I think mine was the Lisa Kleypas anthology.
Yeah, I was so impressed with you. You were texting me and you were like, I've read through this book. I was like, wow, she is on a roll. I was so impressed with you.
And those are like 400-page books. Three something? Yeah, it was.
That was amazing and very impressive.
But I also did read Ice Planet Barbarians very fast. I think I only made it through 7 before I had to get back to like whatever we were reading for our episode that week. But I mean, it was like 7 in like a couple days as well.
Yeah, which is also impressive. But I feel like with the Lisa Kleypas, it was so impressive for you because it was a new genre. Yeah. Like you were in a relatively new genre for you and you were just like going through them and happily. Like you enjoyed them, which is fantastic. Yeah. I love this.
I think I read all of the Wallflowers and all of the Hathaways in like 5 days.
Impressed with you.
Which is like 9 books.
Yeah, which is 9 books. And again, not as short as Ice Planet Barbarians.
Yeah, I was like, I just did a month's worth of work in a week.
But so good. Isn't it? Aren't they great? They're fantastic.
They
So
are.
good.
You really opened my eyes to
Good.
historical.
I'm glad.
Okay. Question for you.
Yes.
Because I was thinking about this while I was reading historical, actually. But it's true with any time I binge read, so I kind of wanted to talk to you about it. Do you ever skim spice?
Yes, I was actually thinking about this because I just read a book with little to no spice. So, well, until the end. So I was thinking about this, and I think that I do if spice is early. Like if you have spice earlier in the book, and there's maybe less like romantic tension to that build up, then yes, I do skim through it. Now, if it is a slow burn, we have been waiting for this spice, there's tons of tension build up, then no, I
Right.
don't. Do you?
Yeah, I do so I never typically skim through like the first round of spice.
Okay.
Because usually no matter what for me, it's like, oh, we're doing it. But I will say like when it's a spicier book and it's like banging content, banging. After round 2 or so, I start kind of let's get to the plot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Speaking of which, I could dig into that a little bit
Let's
more.
do it.
Something else about my stallion book.
I'm very
you will.
ready. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. And I pose this question to you. How many in a book is too many? In one session.
I feel like 2. I'm good. Have 2. Have 3. Have 3
Max.
in your session. Yeah. Enjoy that. Yeah.
I totally agree with this because I think most romance, they at least have 2 a sesh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? Like a clean 2.
So. Yep.
Which, again, is possible.
Yep.
3, bit of a stretch, but okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah. Depends on how it happens.
This book in a singular session, I think she had like 5 or 6 on the stallion.
On the stallion.
Like pre-stallion, there was like 3 or 4. And I was like, come on. And then 2 in the middle of not foreplay. And I was like, okay. While calling it the stallion.
Wow. There's just so much wow here.
By the 5th one, I was like, this has been one sitting. It's been like 30 minutes realistically. If this was happening in real life, that was a 30 minutes.
Wow. Well, I mean, I guess maybe that's
how you get called the stallion.
We both said that.
I knew you were going there as it was coming out of my mouth.
I was like, I guess that's why.
All right. So I was scrolling because that's what I do with my time. And there's all this ACOTAR stuff, right?
Ooh, okay.
And one of the big things that every single ACOTAR thing has is the most famous line from the book, which I'm sure you've got it for me. You ready?
Yes.
Go ahead. Give it to me.
It's the stars that listen and the dreams that are answered, right? It's like to the stars that listen and the dreams that answered.
Me, that sentence means nothing. So
okay.
I understand that people find it beautiful. I respect it if you find it beautiful, but that sentence means nothing to me.
Okay, let me elaborate. So that it can mean something. Okay.
So it does mean something to you.
Yes. Okay. So I think like the big thing of Rhys's character, this whole thing is, Rhys sacrifices himself for his realm. He sacrifices himself with Amarantha, but there are parts where he's explaining his love to Farah, basically in chapter 55 or 54, is when he basically says how he dreamt of her. Like he saw her painting and he dreamt of a world where someone was safe enough where they'd have the time to paint because he saw her painting. Yeah. And then also he dreamt of having someone to be there for him. Because remember, a whole big thing out of Rhys's character too is that everything he loves is taken from him, hunted, etc. So all he's wanted is this genuine and true love. You know what I mean? So when he says to the stars that listen and the dreams that are answered, he basically, I took it as he's dreaming to the stars and he's dreaming of her. And that is the answer. It is that she is his dream come true, basically. Not only did he dream of her, he saw her before he knew it was her, but also he was dreaming of someone like her in the sense that someone that he could love and would love him back and love him back for who he truly is. Because remember, a whole other part is, to him, he shows this really evil to the side or whatever personality to the outside, but inside he's not that way. So it's someone that would see all of his faults, see everything on the outside, see all of everything he's done, all the shame he carries, and he's dreaming of someone that would love him through all of that. So she is the answer to his dreams, basically.
And the stars are like what he prayed to, essentially?
Basically, yes.
And they listened?
He then met Farah in real life, and everything worked out as it did. And that's why he's saying to the stars that listened in the dreams that were answered, I had this time with you, basically. And I dreamt of you, and then here you are.
For some reason, I remember them answering it to each other.
They do. But I took it as same thing, too, because I took it as she also, when she goes through all of her issues with her sisters, she goes through all of her backstory, but then she also goes through, I don't want to spoil Akatar for anybody, but she goes through all of the issues she's going to go through in book 1. Basically, that also, he is that for her. Like, she has been dreaming of a version of him.
Okay.
Yes. So, yeah, it's actually really romantic and fantastic.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it's pretty romantic.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice.
But I just kept seeing it, and I was like, the line gets brought up all the time, but to me, it never meant anything. So I was like, yeah, okay.
When you read, again, if you have not read A Court of Mist and Fury, hold on, don't listen to this. When you read the part when he's like, and I was dreaming of you, oh my God, like, to this day, I want to reread a book that gave me chills like that, to be honest.
I mean, it was very romantic.
So then when you remember that line, he's been dreaming of her because he knew it was her before she knew it was her.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense, I guess.
It's very romantic.
All right. Well, you heard it here first through the grapevine. If you like what you heard, you can find us on TikTok and Instagram at Sippin on Spice.
So you can also check us out on YouTube. We have a lot of great videos on there, just different episodes, book reviews, and bookish content. A lot of fun stuff. So please check us out on YouTube as well.
We'll catch you next week.
Cheers.